Let's get started, because I haven't really told anybody about it. Only probably 1 or 2 people know that I was ever an extra. I think it's really cool. Like it just like really happened randomly. It was unexpected. I usually take a metro to Santa Monica where I work. So if you're from LA and you know the metro system, I live in downtown, so I go from downtown 7th metro to the Santa Monica downtown. So it's like a 45-minute train ride. So there's a group of guys who are rapping, and I guess this random person came up to him, was like, "Are y'all trying to be on a commercial?" And they're all like lit about it, and they're all saying, "Yeah, sure, you know, whatever." And I guess he noticed me after a couple of minutes, and he's like, "Do you want to be on a commercial?" And me over here, I'm like, "No, that's freaking sketchy," because you get approached with weird stuff sometimes. And I was just like, no. And I kept like asking him, "What do you do? What is it for? Like, what's your name?" And all these questions. And he probably thought I was giving hell attitude, because you don't say, "Oh my god, yes." Like, I just kind of was like optimistic about it. At the end, I was like, "Sure, why not?" And he was like, "Okay, we'll give my assistant your information. We'll reach out to you." So I was like, "Okay," you know? And then I went on. After I left, I realized like his name was John Singleton, and it didn't really hit me when he told me my name is John Singleton. I was like, "Oh, okay." But then I got off the train and I was like, why does that name sound so damn familiar? I mean, dang familiar. Why does it sound so familiar? And then I realized, I was like, oh, okay. He directed Boys in the Hood. And then he also did one of the Fast and Furious movies. Here, let me look him up. He did one of the Fast and Furious movies. I think it's Boys in the Hood. What if I'm like wrong? Okay, no, I'm not wrong. He did Boys in the Hood, and he did Too Fast, Too Furious, and Poetic Justice. So he directed those. And I thought that was pretty cool. Like, out of nowhere, you're just like doing your own thing, and then someone's like, "Do you want to be in a movie?" Or not a movie. "Do you want to be in a commercial?" And you're just like, I don't know. But it's cool. Like it was pretty much just to be an extra. So I was like, okay, I'm down. Whatever. I have nothing else to do. Just like make extra money on the side. But I was still kind of suspicious about it. I texted my friend Crystal and was like, "Yo, I just got like approached and about this extra," and she's like, "Nah, that's so suspicious, like don't do it, blah blah blah." And I was like, too late. I just gave my like information, but it's only my email, so we good. His assistant reached out and was like, "Are you still interested? The pay is this much, blah blah blah, and this is what like it is." And he was just telling me like the details of it, so I was like, yeah, I'm sure. Like I was still kind of hesitant, so I was like, sure, you know. A couple of weeks passed, and it was a night shoot, and that's what really was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this because it's a night shoot, and that's hella sketchy. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, but it made sense because of what was it about. So I was like, all right, so I'll just do it. And I had 2 roles. I had the florist and the commuter. Extras have to bring their own clothes. Like, you have to have a variety of clothes. Each, at this scenario, each had at least 3 outfits to pick out of, and they were gonna pick for you which one out of the 3 outfits you should wear. So I had to bring 6 outfits. I was a florist and I was a commuter. Got to the meetup spot, and nobody was there. I think it was around like 7 or 8. Nobody was there, and I was like, what the hell? And the Uber guy was like, "Are you sure it's here?" I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go inside the building. And he just like left. I was like, okay. And then I realized like everybody's gone. Am I late? I don't know if I was late or not. And then I called the Uber, and the same Uber guy picked me up, and he's like, "See, I knew you were lost. Like, was this the place?" I was like, "No, it was, but I guess everybody's gone." And so I just told him my little story, and he was like, "Oh, okay." So I was over there hanging out with Ashley's house with Crystal, or apartment. And then I get a call from the lady who is in charge of like all the extras. She's like, "They need you on set in like 10 minutes. She's like, "Where are you at? Did you make it to the meetup spot safely?" And I didn't answer. She left me a voicemail and I was so scared. I was like, I don't want to go. And then finally she called again and I answered and she's like, they need you on set. Where are you? And I told her what happened. And I told her like I thought everybody left, and she was just like, no, how many minutes can you be here? What's the earliest you can be here? And I was like, oh, I'll be there in like at least less than 30 minutes because it was 10 minutes away from downtown. So I got there in like 8 minutes, and the meetup spot was actually across the parking lot that I was in. And yeah, honestly, I was looking for any excuse not to go because I was just like, I don't know if this is safe, because the shoot was at least till 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, what the hell? I'm like, they really do this 4 o'clock in the morning? So I got to the parking lot and there was a van and there was a guy in a hat. This was hella sketch. There was just a guy in a hat. And I was like, oh, is this, are you gonna take us on set? And he's like, oh, are you the florist? And I was like, yes. And he's like, okay, get in the van. And I was like, in the van? Okay. I decided just to get in the van and wait. He's waiting on for other extras, commuters, and photographer. But everybody in that van that was with me has like, they've been an extra before or they're into that stuff. And I'm just like, this is my first time. I'm such a baby. Like, I've never done this before. And everybody's all pros and shit, and they're like, you just gotta act normal, like every day. And like, everybody got on the van. We all went up to set, and they have like trailers. So you get onto the trailer, and then you like do documents, and then the stylist assistant will look at your clothes and pick which one. And I was a florist, so I just got like a button down, really a lightweight shirt and some jeans. It was really casual. They're like, they need you on set, and I was like, okay. So they walked me on set, watching them film another scene. And it was pretty cool. Like, it was honestly so cool just to see how they did everything behind the scenes. And then while they're shooting the scene, one of the guys is like, oh, there's a truck over there filled with snacks and like coffee. And I was like, oh, caffeine, I need caffeine. But I went to this truck, and let me tell you, it had so many snacks and so much coffee, and there's this guy walking around the set like carrying around like little foods to eat. Later throughout the set, he's like walking around with popsicles, like ice cream popsicles, and I'm like, I was very professional, but low-key I'm like, where are the fucking popsicles? Where's the free shit? Like, you know? So then that happened. After that, they were like, okay, we're shooting your scene next. The scene is where a kid with a surfboard was crossing the street. So I'm an extra and I'm background. So all I did was pick up the bucket of flowers, set it down, did it again. It was like 6 shots. It wasn't even that much. It was like this. I just picked up the bucket and that's it. Like, it was the easiest thing. I was like, okay. John Singleton was on set, and the commercial was for the metro transportation. Yeah, so the reason why he was on the metro is because he wanted like real people, or not real people, he wanted like to make it feel genuine and not actual people from the community. He came up to me and talked to me. He was asking me how I'm doing, and like we talked a little. I told him about school and like, you know, just small talk. And he was really nice, and I was surprised that he actually remembered me, TBH. So that happened. After that scene, the floor scene, we got food. 12 o'clock? At this time it was like 12 o'clock, and they fed us a feast. Let me tell you, that food was so good. I'm like, I really like this life. Like, I should be an extra. It was so cool. And then afterwards we went back to the trailer and kind of waited until they called us, and we went to go change outfits because now it's another scene, and this one was going to be taken on the metro. So we're commuters, we're just background noise. The main actors, they did their thing, and then we just sat there and like pretended to be chilling, you know, as if you're on a metro. And it was kind of hard because everybody on the metro honestly looks so freaking gloomy. In the scenes, you're just like, what do I stare at? Like, I don't know what to do, you know? So they kept calling action cut, action cut. One thing I really admire is John Singleton's like vision. Really genuine throughout the whole time. He talked to like all of us and was just really nice. Ironic because I was on the train when I got scouted for being an extra, and then now I'm filming for the train, which it's cool. It was really fun. Compared to other jobs, I got lucky for this to be my first one, because other ones, they will sit around for 12 hours and they get paid $100, which is like less than what we got. I would do it again, to be honest. It's fun and all. I think it's a fun experience. It was really, really random. It turned out really, really great. I was there only for the night shoot, not so much at the beginning part of it. That was done separately. So I'm glad that I was there to experience it. It was really cool. That's all I can say. Cool, I'm in the background, just chilling, you know? And I got paid, so. I'm literally in there for like a second.
Disconnected city.
But still, I had a great experience. If you guys ever have an opportunity to be an extra, I would take it. Just for the experience. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. So word of advice, if you ever get scouted on the streets, like being an extra or modeling or like an actor, you know, all those types of things, always do your research. Make sure it's not a scam, and check if they have enough credibility for you to like be like, okay, you know, like just ask them for their information and who they are, and like ask information about them. Don't let them ask you all the information. Just make sure you're like, who are you, all this stuff. And if it sounds right, then go for it. I mean, it's fun. If you actually made it through the whole entire video, I give you all props. Thank you so much for watching. You're real as fuck.